Do you feel intense waves of sadness, emotions and feelings that come out of nowhere, pain and guilt that doesn't even feel like your own? Well, sometimes we can feel what our twin flame is feeling, and they can also feel what we're feeling. So sometimes we're not actually feeling our own feelings, we're feeling theirs. And it's good to decipher which is which, because sometimes if we're feeling that heaviness, we can let it go easier if we know that it actually doesn't belong to us. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing, like you'll know. You might not know, but you'll get to know. When you're feeling this sadness, you know that it feels outside of you. It's random. If they're your own wounds, if they're your own feelings, you have a reason behind it. You can feel the trigger, you can sense the trigger, it's coming from a past emotion or it's coming from something outside of you. You know what I mean? So like you can sense, okay, I'm upset because of this. But there are times on our twin flame journey that we will literally be upset and have no reason why, no understanding of why. And that can be because you're feeling your twin flame's emotions. This is when random bouts of energy come out of nowhere. And it can go either way. It can be good and bad. But I'm going to speak about the bad first, because like it can get really extreme. Like there's days that I will be going around and I'll be happy, I'll be distracted, I'll be in good energy, I'll just be happy. And then all of a sudden, it just clicks, it just changes. And I feel this denseness, this heaviness, this sadness. And I'm like, why? What just happened? Nothing changed. Nothing triggered me. I didn't think about something sad. I didn't get triggered in my mind. I didn't get triggered by something external. Where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this? And then I'll start to understand. And like I look back on my twin flame connection after I met my twin flame, and I can see it's later, it's after the fact that I've discovered they weren't even my feelings. It wasn't even my sadness, because I tend to feel his guilt. So that's kind of one that will remind or really assure you that it's not your own, because you start to feel guilty for how they treated you. And you're like, but I didn't do it. I didn't ghost him. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Why am I feeling guilty for how he treated me? And that's the thing. Like, you're not feeling guilty for something you did. You're feeling guilty for something he did. And I remember one of the first times we went into separation, I got loads of signs that week, and I was like, the week we got back in contact, got loads of signs that week that he was going to contact me. Could feel his energy. I could feel the good energy. But the day he contacted me, I felt guilt. I felt intense amounts of guilt. And guilt in connection to what he'd done. And I'm like, where did that come from? I've healed this. I've gotten through this. It's been a few months now. I went through the emotions already. I went through how I felt. But at this moment in time, I'm feeling sadness and guilt for the thing that was done to me. And I'm like, that's not mine. And, I realized then it was his energy. And like, this happens for me consistently now since I've met him. We're in separation. But at the weekend is very intense. You'll know the differences. Monday to Friday, he's busy and I'm busy. So we don't even have time to sit down and worry about what we're going through or worry about each other. Yes, we're thinking about each other all the time. But come the weekend, and it's just a completely different energy. It's really dense. It's really heavy. I can go out and I can go for a walk, or I could do this, or I could be distracted. But there'll just be this heavy cloud of energy at the weekend. And I know that's because there's too much time to think. And I'm feeling his energy. The same thing happened yesterday. I was having a great day yesterday, absolutely brilliant day. One of the best, because usually the weekends are kind of a consistent heaviness because of this, the feelings I'm feeling from my twin flame. And yesterday was great. I had a really good couple of days, really nice weekend. And then all of a sudden, out of completely nowhere, just a heaviness. Like this dark, it was like this kind of a cloud kind of energy. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? I didn't, sometimes I'd watch a movie and I'd get upset, or I'd see something or I'd get triggered. And I was just like, no, right now, that came out of completely nowhere. 1 minute I'm happy, the next minute, all of a sudden I'm low. And I looked at the time and it was like the evening time. And I was like, guaranteed, he's at home now, sitting down, nothing to do, no more distractions. And he's feeling me as well. So the way to understand this is to ask yourself these questions. Is this even mine? And what I do is like, if I start to feel heaviness out of nowhere, I'll ask the question, is this mine or is this my twin flames? And then I'll say to the angels, lift any energy that isn't my own and help me heal what is. And you're going to know the difference, because like literally when I say that, if it's not my energy, it's gone. It's like, where was it? It's absolutely gone, and there's no trace of it. And then I'll start to think about what I was feeling. How was I feeling? Where did that energy come from? Was it actually something I was thinking about, or was it something random? Did it feel like my own, or did it feel something else? This is the thing. You're going to know it's the energy of, you ever get that sadness? And I'm sure you have. It's like, the sadness that is literally like, this doesn't feel like me. This doesn't feel like, it just doesn't feel like me. I have no reason to be sad right now. And I know, like, for a lot of us doing on the healing journey, we do go through this kind of roller coaster energy, this bipolar energy, I'll call it. So like, we are up and down. So the slightest thing can trigger us. The slightest thing can reopen a wound or resurface a wound that we need to heal. So that's there. That's important to understand. So I understand that my energy fluctuates. It does. That's the normal part of healing. It's not linear. So, I do understand I'm going to be up and down. But some days are literally like, that's why I call it bipolar, is because literally 1 minute you're high as a kite and you're fucking buzzing. The next minute you're literally depressed again. But a lot of the times you can understand it. If they're my own emotions and feelings, I will go, right, this happened because I just literally watched something that triggered me, or I thought something that triggered me. But then there's other times that I'm literally going, where did that come from? What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? And then when I ask for it to be released, if it's not my own, it's like, where'd it go? It's not even mine. So, and I think it's really important to understand what is yours and what isn't. Because I've said this before about twin flames, right? When you're with your twin flame, you're both fully charged. You're feeling high energy, they're feeling high energy, and then you're feeling each other. This is the thing, you're feeling each other's energy. So like, you not only, this is the hardest part, not only are you feeling your energy, good or bad, they're feeling their own energy, good or bad, but you're feeling their energy and they're feeling yours. So it's double down. So like, if it is sadness or emotions, you've already got your own shit to deal with. So you're probably going through a bit of a tough time anyway. And then they send, like, you're feeling their energy on top of that. So you've got double the energy to contend with. And so do they. So this is why it's so important to nurture yourself on this journey and to take care of yourself and actually understand which is which. Because if you can understand that you're not just feeling your own energy, you can alleviate it quicker. You can release it quicker. A really good way to do this as well is to send them love. Send them healing on the 5D. Don't text them. I've done that with my twin flame. It's like, the energies are weird right now. You know what I mean? I hope you're okay. And it's just like, he has no idea what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? He's like, what the fuck is this one woo-woo about? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I hope you're okay through the energies. They're like, what? You know what I mean? So send them love on the 5D. Send them love telepathically. When you know it's not your own. And this works for me. Not only, as I said, do I say lift the energy if it's not my own, and help me heal what is. I also say, please send healing and love and protection to my twin flame. Because not only do you get to alleviate yourself or release the energy yourself, you're going to get to help them go through, navigate theirs a little bit better. You're sending them warmth, you're sending them healing. And this is another thing. We'll flip the switch here. You also get to feel the love. This is another thing. Not only do you get random, like this is like with the random bouts of emotions, you could literally, like this morning for me, I didn't have a trigger. Like a music video came on. Never seen the music video before. There was nothing sad in the music video. Nothing at all. And I started crying. I couldn't stop crying. I was like, what the fuck am I crying for? Do you know what I mean? This can happen in connection to twin flame as well. It's like literally, why am I crying right now? And it's not like, the video didn't trigger me because I looked at the video. I was like, there's nothing sad about the video. There's nothing sad about it. And I was like crying about there not being sad about it. So like, this is the thing with the random emotions. It's like, where did that come from? Because, But like, when it comes to the other side, the love, you not only get to feel their sadness, their emotions, what they're going through, which is good in a sense because you get to understand what they're healing. So yeah, before I get into the love side of things, one way we can help our twin flame, a lot of us want to text them, fix them, help them, tell them this is wrong, tell them this is wrong, tell them what part of themselves they need to heal, send them a meditation, or, you know, this is the chakra you need to work on today. We can't do that because we're not supposed to contact them. So you can understand through what they're feeling and their emotions. And it's funny because like I know more of my twin flame's life from downloads I get. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I know more of what's going on in his life because of downloads. So I can work on the stuff that he needs to work on for him. So, you know, like if I think it's his root chakra, or if I think it's you know, something to do with releasing or letting go, or, you know, understanding that a lot of the things that he's going through are not serving him anymore, stuff like that, which is a big thing at the moment for him. And I can work on that through myself. I can heal those parts of myself, and that can heal him. I can heal that chakra for him. So that's another way we can heal them through the downloads we get, through those random bouts of emotions, through that understanding that this is theirs and not ours. We can actually heal them through ourselves. So that's another really good thing. So use it as an understanding of how you can speed things up. You can speed things up by helping them through yourself, if you get me. You know what I mean? Do that work. Do the work for them. And you're not doing it for them. You're helping them. Do you know what I mean? So like if you understand it more, you understand which energy center is out of a balance, or you understand what issues they're having at the moment through that telepathic, you know, shared feelings, there you go, shared emotions and shared feelings. So you can actually help them progress quicker by healing your side of things for them, or through, you know, with them. So then there's the love. The love I liken to the feeling of ecstasy. It's absolutely profound. It's like those warm flushes, you know, there's that Kundalini energy, there's a random sexual arousal, there's that body heat, there's those palpitations in your heart, there's that really intense warm hug feeling. It's like all of these things mixed into one. You might get them together, you might get them separately, but you'll know that as well. Like this literally out of nowhere. It's like, you know, what I just said, like, you know, you remember something that your twin flame did and you start to feel guilty for it. It comes out of nowhere because they're thinking about it. And then what I love about this part of it is you don't forget them. And you're constantly thinking about what you went through or whatever, or being together, or when you were last together or whatever. But out of nowhere, you'll start to get a really prolonged flashback of a time that you spent together. Like really intense. Like you get right into detail. It's like you're like watching the story going on in your head, and you're like, who pressed play? That's kind of what it is. It's like, you know, your twin flame is sitting there having an in-depth nostalgic moment, thinking intensely about something that happened between you, one of the good things, and you're just sitting there going, where did that come from? And like you start to think it again, or as well, and you start to feel it intensely as well, and you start to get this warm feeling, and you have this giddy feeling or this excited feeling, and you start to realize, you know, you start to remember how good you are together, and you know how different you were together in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Because like, you know, you remember like these in those moments of heightened love energy, you start to, it reassures you, because you not only do you know in that moment they're intensely thinking about you, but you're reminded of how compatible you are. You know what I mean? As I said in many videos, like your twin flame might not be the exact same on paper. There's a lot of differences. You know what I mean? You might not be their usual type. They might not be your usual type. But your usual type was toxic anyway, so you know, that's a good thing. But like, you know, you have to navigate the differences. But a lot of the differences are stuff that we have to shed anyway. And who we truly are on a core soul level is a match. So trust that. But like when you get those random low energies, you literally go, this is real. We're compatible down to the soul. We are the same soul anyway, but like we're so compatible. And you're reminded then that you're not the only one thinking about them. You know, a lot of the times we can wonder, do they even think about me? Do they care? They're not showing anything. They walked away. They told me I wasn't worthy, this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But when you start to get those telepathic feelings, those telepathic images, good or bad, it's reassurance to you that you are deeply, deeply connected. You know, on a spiritual level, on a deep soul level, that you're never actually apart. And I think this is the most important thing to remember here is like, we could be in separation for a long time with our twin flame, but these emotions that we feel, or this love that we feel, that's proof that we're never apart. You know, that feeling like they're in the room, that feeling like they're beside you, that feeling like they're holding your hand. You know, even when they come to you in dreams, this is all proof that it's a shared connection. It's a shared bond. And I think that's enough proof. Like, you know, when we're in separation, we keep thinking we need physical results, physical proof. But when we don't get that, we're so quick to doubt. But when you trust what you're feeling, know and understand that it's not even yours, whether it's a good emotion or a bad emotion, in that moment or in those moments, you know your twin flame is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about them. It just isn't the right time for you to be connected in the physical right now. And that's it. Like, but this is another way you know you can't escape this connection, because those feelings don't go away. Those feelings get stronger. Every time they get stronger. And I think those emotions that come in, and that sadness that comes in, that guilt that comes in, that's proof that they are thinking about this. It's proof that they regret their actions. And it's proof that they want to change, because it'll go from feeling guilty and pain into an energy of love and affection. You know, so if you do have those doubts on your journey, become aware of your feelings. Become aware of your emotions. And become aware of what's yours or what's shared. And when you can understand that, I think it gives you a bit of relief. It's like, because it's in those moments that I kind of go, this isn't over. Because sometimes we can, if we're not getting the contact, and sometimes we don't have the telepathic antenna switched on all the time if we're in a sad energy. But in those moments of even that rush of emotion or that rush of love, those are the moments that reassure us that yes, we are on the right path. We are getting closer. The bond is getting stronger. So it's I suppose, just use these episodes, we'll call them, as reassurance that everything's going to be okay. You know, that reassurance that you're always connected. You're not separated. Those intense feelings are more intense because they're feeling them at the same time. You know, and I think we have to trust that. Those warm, especially the warm energy, that love energy, that intense, heightened arousal energy, all of that is coming through our twin flame because they're thinking about us as well. And it will happen to them as well. I guarantee you, he's probably in the most random of places when he feels my love. Do you know what I mean? He's probably in the middle of a work day and it's just like, whoa. Do you know? And it's just like, yes, like we can send them that energy as well. And it's one way to keep them, you know, connected. Because oftentimes we're like, oh, I need to text them or they're going to forget about me. No, don't chase after them. Send them love, send them good energy, send them everything through your heart chakra, through your soul chakra, you know, through all of it, to assure them on the 5G that there's something here as well. Like, you're going to be always on their mind anyway. But if you intensely send them love all the time as well, they're not going to forget about you. They're going to remember you all the time and very intensely. So this is the thing. They feel you as well. You feel them. It's shared. All of it's shared. And it's heightened because of your strong soul bond. So trust that. When you're always together, you're always together, never apart. Separation is an illusion. And these emotions or this love that you feel without them or with them when they're not there is proof of that. So don't be worrying. Use this as reassurance for what's coming, because they do feel it too. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. If you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. I have nothing more than to help you in your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box. And I have a free feminine empowerment workshop coming up on Wednesday, the 17th of June at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time, for us ladies to get together and support each other. If you want info for that, please comment below.